Oh. We're here, I think. See, now that Patrick left.
I'm not gonna stand up like it was either.
Did I get it?
There, it's working.
Yay!
So,
Yay! Right? Are we live?
I think so. It says live, so I'm pretty sure that means we're live.
Okay, so, hi, everyone. This is really bright. This is in my face bright. It's in my face bright. Okay. So, hello, everyone. Tonight, we thought we would just do some kind of fun stuff that randomly popped up because Hannah is hanging out with us, and she asked how to tie, like, headscarves and turbans. So, do you want to learn?
I would love to learn. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Okay, so I am not the expert turban scarf tying person. I just do it however I do it, but we can try and teach you guys if you want to learn. And then I was going to make Hannah try and do it by herself after I taught her. So if you guys have questions along the way, feel free to ask. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with just like a regular scarf because I wear them a lot. I wear turbans a lot too, but I think probably most of the time I wear scarves. Do you have, like, turbans and scarves and things?
I have some, yeah.
Okay. So
of various sizes and whatnot, yeah.
So, like, when we talk, like, the cute 1940s housewife headscarf, this is what we're talking about. These are just squares of fabric. And you get them at Burnley and Trowbridge. We use them for, like, fissues or neckerchiefs. But
pretty sure that everyone I came across has come from, like, Goodwill.
Really? Or Goodwill, because, like, I seriously have a lot of Goodwill.
I have a bunch of silk ones, which probably don't stay in your hair all that well.
They do if you pin them in.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, the first thing you have to do is, hey, Carol. The first thing you have to do is make it into your triangle, right? Okay. So, now, Hannah, normally what I do is I pull all my hair up, and you have a lot more hair than I do, so just pulling it up like you have it is perfectly fine.
In a bun.
To do, yeah.
I got a lot of wispies, but
yeah, nothing fancy. You don't need a fancy, and that's why I wear them a lot, because I can go to the post office really quick, and I don't have to worry what my hair is doing. So the first thing you want to do is point your point to the front of your head, okay. Like this. Just like that.
Keeping it classy.
Keeping it classy here. Okay. So, and you can see where this bottom is. It's going around. And I've never actually done this on somebody else's head before. So, as long as your point is in the center, like this, you're good to go. Okay? You're going to bring it around from the bottom, and you're going to start to crisscross on top, loop under, like this. Pull it really loosely, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Beth. So now you have this right here, and this is the trick. Like, sometimes I can get them to work really well, and sometimes I have to monkey with them a little bit. Hey, Molly. So this goes up and over. You want to bend your head down? Okay. So see how it's just lightly twisted? So now this goes up and over. All right? And these are the things that I'm always monkeying with. Usually I like to tuck them because you don't want like little corners sticking out. So normally I just tuck them under.
I totally give you adorable like kitty ears though.
Hey Beth, hey Molly. So now that you've got this flipped and you have these kind of figured out where you want to go, you don't want those sticking out. You're going to take the top. Okay, and you're going to tie it one more loop, just like this. And then you're going to have these little guys. This is so hard to do when it's not on your own head. You just tuck everything in here. And you can do whatever you want with this. Some girls like to tie it in a bow. I don't do that because I don't know how to do that. Beth says, shouldn't you be helping Patrick put the kitchen back together? Yeah, I probably should, because I'm really sick of living out of the dining room and rinsing spaghetti in the bathtub. I'm sick of doing that. But our kitchen is almost done, and then we're gonna do some fun kitchen shows, right? You're gonna come cook with me?
Patrick already volunteered me to come cook, yeah.
Oh,
so
he
I
didn't
did.
He didn't give you an option?
There was a reason why I brought my recipe book with me today. That was not, like, coincidence.
That's gonna be awesome. So we're gonna do some cool cooking shows once our kitchen gets finished. So you have the one loop, and you're just gonna tie it in a knot like this, and then you have these, and you just want to tuck things under like this. It looks kind of weird because I did it without. Yeah, just like that. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time. That's we're both super cute. Okay, so if I was doing this on my own head, right? I'm almost afraid to take this off. Alright, so if I was doing this on my own head, right?
You can't even see you.
Wait,
This way, dear.
help me. Alright, so see how I'm pulling this tight, right? My shirt is on backwards. I like my shirt, Daryl. Okay, so when I'm tying this, it's way down on my forehead, and then I'm flipping this corner piece up, just like we had talked about. And then, okay, are you watching? So, like, I did this, and I tied it in my loop,
Yep.
right? Okay, so now I'm just going to flip this up, and then I'm going to loop it one more time. To just hold that piece back, hold that little triangle back.
Tuck your ears in.
Yeah. So now, this is one of those things you want to watch out for. When you want to, this piece right here. No, I'll tuck my ears in. Remember I said I'm not a pro at this, I just do this often. Okay, so, see I got it all tucked in there now, it looks really nice and pretty. It looks really gypsy-esque.
Yeah.
Give me a quarter, I'll tell you your fortune.
I don't have any money, I'm gonna have to go ask Estelle.
Okay. And then you can do whatever you want with this. Tie it in a bow. Tie it in another knot. Tuck it in. Sometimes I just like to tuck it. I flip this up and tuck this behind. Like this.
Is that how you did the one that you were wearing?
No. That's completely different.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say that does not look like what you had on at all.
So this is how I do it. And then you can pull these out. These then get pinned. So classy, we have Ziploc baggies in. So these then get pinned with hairpins, or I also use regular sewing pins. And there you have it. So, do you want to try it? I'll help you as you go.
Sure.
Okay. Sometimes you don't need to like use the hairpin. Sometimes you do. Okay, let me just get my let me get my head back on here. This is gonna be awesome. Okay. All right. So it works better if you bend your head down.
Okay. So have scarf.
You are yep, all the way down. Yep. Good.
Okay. My hair is really loose too, so this is gonna be like
Okay.
wonky.
So now that this is down, you're going to go up and over, and you're going to pull real tight. Excellent. Okay, look and see what you got here so far. This is good. Because see, all these like little things are tucked in there. So now you're going to pull this up and over, and you're going to spread it out and make sure the little...
It's all like even. And
yeah, make sure it's even, make sure it's tucked in. Does the pin go through the fabric or just hold the ends down? So when I put the pins in, they go through the fabric as well. And that's why I prefer to use little sewing pins, because they don't really damage the fabric. When you have a really loose weave, like some of my turban pieces are really loose, the hairpins work just fine. But if you don't want to put, yeah, no, this is great. Okay, so see what you got here. You got this really cool thing going. Now you can move it back on your head a little bit if you want. I don't want to like pull your hair. Yep. And now you can do this however you want. If you wanted to make a bow. I was never really like cool. I don't know.
I don't know.
The bow thing just isn't my thing.
I've seen you rock some pretty cool bows though.
Not on the headscarves you haven't. Okay, so now I just gotta figure out what you're gonna do with this. And you can do all kinds of things.
I can't see it, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Hey.
Well, here's a mirror.
Just tuck it in, huh?
Yeah, you can tuck that piece in. And actually your back looks really awesome. We'll have you turn to the... See, Molly says you're doing a good job. Molly knows. Molly wears headscarves. Molly does...
This is like a symmetrical bow.
No, this is a good bow. That's cool. Okay, like if you just want that hanging down with no other bow, that's cool. Like, you know,
Okay.
be unique. Don't do what everybody else does. I'm done with that. Okay, so I just kind of tucked that in here.
Yeah, I think you made it worse.
I did. But okay, so you want to turn around for them because this actually looks really awesome. Okay. Okay, so bend your head down just a little bit. Down. and then see, you guys, how it's pulled really nice and tight. It's like over the ears. That's really important. And then okay, you turn around. See, you did this.
You probably should have
totally
showed them like how much hair I have packed in there.
Oh yeah.
Too. Yeah, there's a lot of hair under
Hannah
there.
has a lot of hair. I don't have any hair. So this is really awesome. And then you can like
That would be your own fault since you chopped it all off.
I chopped it off. You can pull these out, and then if you're worried about like if it's a silk scarf, you can always put a bobby pin here, and a bobby pin on the other side, or a bobby pin in the back to hold your scarves. You did a really good job. Do you want to do it one more time, and I won't help you at all?
I don't know. Let's try something else.
Okay. Okay. So
I want to learn how to do everything.
You want to learn how to do these cool ones?
Yeah, that you like butchered when you put back on your head.
Okay. So my hair is really crazy. So if you want to do turbans, you're going to need long scarves to do turbans, and the longer the scarf, the better. I don't know how wide. Do you want to take a guesstimate as to how wide this is?
My good old... It's a yard on the money.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so Hannah says it's a yard wide. And, okay, so you can do multiple... I'm going to use this one. You can do multiple pieces in your turban.
That is not a yard.
This is not a yard, no, but it's really pretty because I found this at Goodwill.
Yes, I remember.
This was the one that you said that was for babies. And I said, no, Hannah.
And now that I've seen it in person, it's not. It's
not for babies, but it's got really pretty fringe.
It does.
Which is also really nice. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to find the half mark of my turban so it can be even on each side. And when I put it on, it's going to go all the way, help me, Hannah. It's going to go all the way to the bottom. Can they see?
Of your head. Yep.
Okay. So, I think turbans are my absolute favorite to do. Bo says, the 19th century native portrayers are watching with intensity. Uh-oh. Okay, so what I normally like to do then is make sure that this piece is all the way down on my neck, and that's why it needs to be wide enough. And I pull it to the front a little bit, just enough to turn this piece over. I feel like I should be in a play. Okay. So again, you're going to want to pull it taut. Alright? And then, can they see?
Yep.
Alright, so the first thing you're going to do in the back, you have your two pieces. You're going to cross them, just like this. And when you cross them, you're able to pull, so you can get really nice and tight. And you can fix your ears later. Alright, so then you're going to wrap this one around, and then you're going to wrap the other one around. And so this one isn't quite as long, so now you have to decide what you're going to do with it. Are you going to add another scarf to it, or are you going to pin it in place? So if you would add another scarf, okay, so here you go. This is your twist, right? If you're going to add another scarf, you can get short scarves, long scarves. And you got to figure out how you want this, because you can twist it. If you want it, you can kind of pull it apart. And then I like to put another scarf. This is kind of a fun little silky one. Okay, so this one isn't very wide. Over at a different angle. And the concept is just the same. You're pulling them over like this. And now you're going to take this one, flip it over. And I don't know, sometimes you kind of got to work a little bit with how get this one tucked in. So instead of using pins, I'm just tucking and rolling underneath. And you can keep going, if you have stick pins, you can keep going further back on your head. So this one's going to come up like this. And this one's going to go back like... For Regency, you could pin it right there. You could have it hang down if you wanted. The trick is just feeling your way around it. So that's going to get tucked into there. Isn't this exciting?
It looks really complicated
It's
now.
not. It's not. You can't do it wrong. There's nothing you can do wrong. As long as you keep twisting and turning and tucking, you just can't do it wrong. Chic.
I don't know how you do that. Okay. We'll give this a shot. See, the thing is they always end up, I don't know if it's that I don't position them like far enough up on my head.
Mm-hmm.
But they always just like slide off all the time, which is really annoying.
I think part of it is because you don't position them far enough, because you always want to fold over so you can actually have that really good tautness. And then the other thing is if you don't do it tight enough, it's going to want to slip.
Yeah.
But you also have a lot of hair, so you want to make sure that they look like they would be hot. That's a really great question, Jen. I have not had a problem. Sometimes I think that in the morning when I get ready, and I like to sometimes pull mine up a little bit and then have my Regency curls out, but they're not really hot at all. As long as you do them with natural fibers, they're going to breathe. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, and in my day-to-day life, I wear like a regular, plain old, ugly bandana and like haymaking and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to class it up, take it to the next level.
Change it up, take it to the next level. You can
Exactly.
be like the haymaking vintage beauty out there. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so you gotta pick a scarf.
Oh,
pick a scarf, any scarf. Pick a scarf.
There's only
we
a
have
couple.
all these.
Good thing you're making it a really easy choice for me.
This would complement your outfit, and it would complement your skin tone.
I was kind of drawn to it. I do like green.
I know, green
But
would
it
look
looks
nice.
enormous.
But it is enormous.
Okay.
Do you want to... Yeah, it's probably... Okay, let's see if we can figure out how long this is, because I don't have a...
You gotta use my arm, because I got this down, okay?
Okay.
Like how
Here we go.
long is... Trick my grandmother taught me. Okay, this
1
to
yard?
here is a yard. So it's like...
So it's 2 yards long and a yard wide. Okay, guys, so it's the two yards long and a yard
little
wide.
bit longer than a yard wide, this one is.
Okay. That one's a
bit
little bit
longer, yes.
Okay. You want to do it?
Yeah. Okay, and you can help me position here my bulk. Can they see all my hair?
Oh, yeah, she's got a lot of hair. In fact, we're going to do some Civil War and Victorian hairstyles with Hannah, because Hannah's got some really awesome hair. We're not going to do them tonight, but she's going to get some period fringe put in, right, for her front. So when that happens, we'll get some. Okay.
I always like to call it my lunatic fringe, like Pa Ingalls did.
Oh, I don't even have a comment for that one. Okay, guys, you have to find the center of your big scarves, right? So this is the center right here. Okay, so do you remember what you have to do?
So we pull it back, right? Because you want it on your neck.
Yep.
And you pull it to the front.
Mm-hmm.
And you...
Okay, so see how all that excess you had, I pulled back?
Fold it back like so.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. So now that you fold it back, you want to turn it on? We're in the library today. We tried to make it as light as we could in the library because normally the library is pretty dark. Okay, so keep grabbing, keep grabbing.
I'm grabbing. I'm just trying
keep grabbing. Okay, so
measure my tension here.
Yep. So see how she kept grabbing until she had two separate pieces. Excellent. And she crosses them.
Oh, did you hear my neck crack? That was crazy.
Oh, I heard the chair crack. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So they cross.
Yeah, they cross. Okay.
See, and baby wearing.
So now I'll flip you around.
Rails. Adjusting your tension and stuff. Okay.
So now you have to kind of decide what you want to do. If you want to twist it, right? If you want to twist it and you want to throw it up, twist it and throw it up, or maybe you don't want to twist it. Maybe you want to kind of lay really nice and get some more of that orange and throw it. That's completely up to you.
It's like sticking to itself.
Yeah, that one's kind of sticky. That's a good one though. The fabric of that weave is really loose, so that's a really good one to put hairpins through. I put a lot of hairpins through that. I like the twisted look.
Is that the tag? Oh my goodness, the tag is sticking
tag.
out.
I always wanted to remove that tag, and it's like almost...
Oh, there it goes.
It's gone.
Goodbye.
Hey, no more tag.
Okay, I have some ends.
Excellent.
Shorties.
So now, this end is really short. Here, I'll turn you around. We're going to turn her around.
Done this with a swivelly chair.
We need a swivelly chair in the library. Okay, so see how she has this one short... Oh, let's move you back. She has this one short piece right here. So she's got to figure out what she's going to do with it. Is she just going to tuck it in? Can I tuck it in for you?
Yeah.
So it would make it tighter if she tucks it under and pulls it around and twists it in versus just giving it one tuck. Okay, so now what do you want to do with your front?
I don't really know.
I'll turn you around again on our historical 19th century swivel chair.
See, I feel like when you twist it, you make it easier to disguise where you're tucking everything into.
Look at that looks really good. And then you can kind of sometimes they look better depending on how tall your forehead is.
I have the ugliest hairline ever.
You have
it's
a fine
weird.
hairline. Look at you. You have a turban. Yay. Why wear turbans? Historical time frame. Okay, so that's a really good question, Sherry. Turbans, you start to see them come in the late 18th century, so the late 1700s, into the Regency. And from there, they were really fashionable for quite a while. They kind of come in and out, and I don't exactly know when they end. But I think I still see 1820, 1830, they're still hanging in there, but kind of on the outskirts. So I haven't really thought about how long they lasted. But it was really, I heard two different variations as to why they became really popular. The first one, and this is what I heard a long time ago, was that with the Turkish influence in the late 1700s, early 1800s, when they were going to Egypt and you have Napoleon and things, that's where the head wraps came from. And then I also heard that the head wraps were adopted from the African Americans, from the slaves. And so I'm not really sure the history on that and if it's correct or both are correct or one or the other, but that's what I know so far, I guess.
Yeah, and my hair, you probably noticed that I have so many wispies that are just everywhere. When I do working impressions, I like to wear something just to keep it out of my face, because otherwise you're trying to, work over the fire and cooking and stuff, and
Oh, you should tell them what you do, though.
What I do? Okay.
What do you do? What does Hannah do?
I do some 1860s stuff, so Civil War, and we do Wild West, which is a really broad time frame, so like 1870s all the way up to like 1920.
Not just any Wild West. It's Buffalo Bills.
Wild West.
They do the show. So, like, if you guys are familiar with the Buffalo Bills, what is it called? Wild Buffalo Bills show. No, I'm not very good at that.
The short term is Buffalo Bills Wild West show.
Okay.
They sometimes throw in and Congress of Rough Riders of the World.
So that's what Hannah does, which is actually really cool. Like, you actually ride horses.
Yeah, I do. But
Bo says you do that.
While I'm not doing that, like, I have to make breakfast in the morning in camp and do all that stuff. And meanwhile, my hair is driving me nuts.
And look after the child.
Yes.
Yes.
Patrick is currently watching lots of Disney with a 3-year-old.
He's on a date with a 3-year-old tonight. Hi, Jen. So, so also, who was that pointed out, we gotta scroll. Oh, so Molly pointed out that they were also popular during World War II. And the first style that we did with the square and the triangle of fabric was very popular at that time, and you can make them look super cute. Also, like in the 1940s, the turbans were kind of came back, and in the 1920s, women were wearing turbans as well. So, Bo says he's an hour from Cody.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Never been there. I rarely leave the state of Wisconsin, which is really, really sad.
We're gonna work on that. We should take you treasure hunting with us when we finally go treasure hunting with our what do we call it? Patrick and I want to be detectorists, so we got metal detectors, but we haven't even used them because we've been so busy.
I think my dad has a metal detector.
You could borrow your dad's metal detector and search for buried treasure.
Yeah, dad only searches for buried treasure and logs he's gonna saw. He does. Well, you gotta check to see if there's metal in them.
Yeah.
He found a maple syrup spigot.
Wisconsin. Wait, Bo, I forgot where you're from. I forgot where you're from again. Tell me. Because that's how we talk here, you know. Yeah, there, hey, we should go get some cheese curds, eh? Hey. Maybe go some ice fishing. We'll do some ice fishing. I don't know how to ice fish. I'll probably fall through.
I don't know. I have fun. Ice fishing is for me,
from Wyoming.
At least, not really about the fishing. More, it's about the recreation.
Yeah, you like the recreation, eh?
I do.
Like the taverns here in Wisconsin, recreation?
No, you don't go to the tavern. You just drink your old fashioned. Because we're from Wisconsin, we have to drink old fashions.
Which is weird because I don't drink. So
in the ice shanty, yeah.
Would I drink, if I was ever in an ice shanty, which I haven't been for a very long time, I would have a kitty cocktail.
Our ice shanty is really cool. I sewed these amazing fish curtains for it.
It's good to have domestic skills.
It is
here in Wisconsin for the ice fishing shack, so we can make some fish curtains. Okay, so
back to the topic at hand.
We have a plane diving in on us. Jennifer says, "Is there anything for the 18th century for this style head wrap?" So it wouldn't be until the 1780s, 1790s that this head wrap comes in fashion. You can still see women with their hedgehogs, and then they kind of like have this wrap type thing sitting on top of it. So it's like my bad. Okay, so I think this is really cool. Like, if you just want to turn to the side a little bit, because I think that they should see this. I think this is really pretty. Like, I love the way these are twisted. Her massive hair is in here, and it actually looks, very Greek to me. I think it's really pretty.
Greek.
Yeah, Greek.
Yeah,
Do you know what Greek is?
Do I know what Greek is? Okay, I may be not leaving the state of Wisconsin very often, but I have cracked a textbook in my life.
So, if you wanted to add another color to this, which you can totally do you have a preference of colors?
I don't know.
We're going to show you guys how to wrap multiple ones on here.
I don't know what will not clash with the green and orange.
Purple.
Oh, okay.
Green, orange, and purple go really well.
Well, I guess
together.
the contrast will be really great for learning purposes.
Yes.
Pink.
So,
Elena says pink.
Oh, pink. Should we do pink? Let's do pink. Pink would go nice with your browns. Oh look, there's here's pins in, because sometimes I forget to take my pins out. If you want to find, no, this one is such an amazing scarf, and you know where this one came from? Menards.
Perfect. I like that.
For a while, they had these really cool scarves, and I even think like this one came from Menards as well. So you never know what you're going to find at Menards, and when you're redoing a kitchen, you are there a lot when that's the only home store in your town. Okay, so same thing. You want to find the center, all right? And so this one is going to be, you kind of want to figure out where you want to place it. If you want to place it at an angle, you want to bend your head down. If you want to place it at an angle, if you want to place it sideways like this, if you kind of want to go around the bun portion that she has there, and it's going to be the same concept, okay? So you're going to want to find your two pieces in the back, and okay, you want to go like this. You want to tighten them up for me. Give it a good. All right, and so this is where then I would grab a pin. A pin. Did I hit your head?
No.
Okay, good. And then go ahead. You can start wrapping it and twisting it just like you would.
Am I tucking it into like the original one then?
Yeah, you can tuck it through. You can tuck it. So like with these pieces right here, sometimes what you see ladies do historically is they will take and they will fling this one through here, just like this. And then when this one goes on top of it, it should hold it in place. Yep.
Contrast is good.
Contrast is good. I would agree. See? So, okay, so this is a really good point. What I would do is she was going to put it up on top, but you want to kind of fill in the bottom. So I would go under, and I would not just grab this first one. I would grab this one as well, just because it gives you a little more stick. Okay. And then as you twist it, you have a little bit left. Turn the back here. And you can either like pin that, or we can make this. Oh, there's the tag again. I gotta get better at taking my tags off. My tags. All right, let's turn back. And all you're doing is looping this through your fabric. So there's no right or wrong way other than you just want to make sure to kind of fill in this bottom. So instead of wrapping over, I had to wrap under. Okay.
It feels really secure.
Doesn't it? I mean,
it's
yeah,
not going
you could go
anywhere.
jogging.
I could.
So, do you have a better idea of how to do it now?
Do I have a better idea? Oh, like I learned a lot? Yes, I did learn a lot. You were asking me like, do I have a better idea? I'm like, no, I came here so you can teach me what I'm doing.
Elena says, very pretty, very 1940s. Yeah, I love the whole 1940s turban look, and you can actually find like 1940s turban hats, so you just like throw them on and your turban's all there for you. Those are pretty awesome. Does anybody have any other questions about anything relating to wrapping your head in fabric? I don't think so.
Crickets. Crickets.
Crickets! Crickets! Do you want to try this one more time? Because I think this is the type that I use a lot, and so this may be the type that you might use a lot too. And I think personally, that
Optimal length spitball guess.
Oh, what did we decide? We decided it was 2 yards.
Yeah. The one I'm wearing is 2 yards.
The one she's wearing is 2 yards long by a yard wide-ish. I mean, it can vary. And then these ones are just really long. You know, we get them at Burnley and Trowbridge. like fissues or neckerchiefs. And they have to be, you know, like the ones you would buy in the store. What did you call it? You just said you wear it on your head. Bandana. Like the bandanas you buy in your store, they're just not long enough to do the cool head wraps or the cool like 1940s look. So it's really important that you have enough fabric when you're tying, when you're tying your neck scarf, to be able to loop it around and back up, and there's a lot of fabric that hangs in your face. Because if you don't have that fabric hanging in your face, you're just not going to have enough to tie it up, and it's going to be slipping off all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important. And then I always carry my little bucket of pins with me. So if I felt like this wasn't secure enough, but usually when you get it on your head, it is secure and you don't feel like it's going to come off. But if you do want to secure it or want to secure the two pieces together, you would just take your pins, your stick pins, and you would just kind of pin them together. If you actually want to put it inside like a bun, you can take your hairpins. Like we mutilated this one.
Yeah, you did mutilate that one.
That's why the steel hairpins work a lot better than these, because these are pretty flimsy. But you would just take your hairpins and you would just stick it in your bun through your pieces of material.
He says, holy cow. I think it's like 2 yards seems like a lot of fabric.
Yeah.
But it's really sheer gauzy fabric, so that massive amount doesn't really amount to that much.
Right. And like Jen said before, heavy fabrics are going to be really hot. Fabrics that are not natural are going to be really hot. But if you get natural fiber for your scarves, natural fabrics, very loose weave fabrics or very fine woven fabrics, you should be just fine. Elena asks if they are silk. The ones that we have here are not silk. They are cotton. This one, I think, had a little bit of cashmere or something in it, which is weird if I got that from Menards. I bet that's not true. So this one might not be 100% natural fiber, I'm guessing. But you can, sorry. But yeah, you can, hi Rebecca, but you can definitely use silk. And if I would use silk, what I would do is I would just use my stick pins. Yeah, definitely use stick pins.
Yeah, I see silk as being a lot more likely to slide off your head. Yeah.
And especially, like, it wouldn't be so bad if you attach the silk top to your hair, whatever you have. Right now I don't have any hair, so I don't have anything to attach it to. But
it's your own fault, my dear.
It is my own fault. It is my own fault. But eventually I will. Which is really sad because I cut it because, for those of you who don't know why I cut my hair, because I got really, I don't know, I wanted to dye my hair one night, and for whatever reason, like, I've been in hair a long time, I know how it works. You can't dye a light color over dark brown black. You just can't do it. You have to bleach your hair first if you want to do it. So for whatever reason, I thought I would dye like a red over that, and it was just horrible. It was just absolutely horrible. So then I decided, well, let's just shave the whole head off. I was going to shave all my hair off, and I thought I could wear these really cute turbans and things until it grew back, which would probably be really good for my hair anyway. But then Patrick wasn't so keen on that. He made me promise that I wouldn't. He made me promise I would come back with hair in my head. So I got it cut really short. So I'm working on like 1920s, 1930s looks. I just got some really cute like 20s, 30s dresses coming. So Elena says cotton would be the best then. I think so. Cotton or linen. Yep. I mean, if it's like fall, you could even use a tropical weight wool, I would think would be nice. And wool grabs to your hair anyway. So Molly says, if you are covering pin curls, silk is good. So you get the air on them to dry. And that's true. Like, historically, that's why you would sleep with your silk scarf and your silk pillow. And Patrick just joined. Yeah, so silk is good. And that's that. I don't know. Did you want to do this one more time? See if you remember.
It doesn't matter.
How to do it? I mean, this is like cool. You need
it is pretty cool.
Little feathers or something to like stick into it. Yeah. Okay, should I take it off?
Sure.
And you guys, here's the cool thing. If you're careful with these when you take them off, you can take them off and kind of slide them back on if you're careful. See, so here is your little hat, and you can just
You can come here, Pat.
slide it back on.
Want to come join the party?
You want to come see? Hey. You could tie a little turban on her.
Here we go.
Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Were you watching movies? Yeah, actually, this is not pinned. I had one pin, which was right here, which was stuck into her hair. But the actual piece itself is not pinned. It is just twisted and turned.
Oh, she's out of here.
She's done.
That was short-lived.
Okay. I'm gonna sit back here and you can explain how this all goes.
I can explain it? Oh, Lordy.
Go.
Well, I can,
You can do it.
I can do it. I'm not sure
I'll
if
narrate.
I
I'll narrate.
can talk coherently while I do it is another thing entirely.
I'm gonna narrate for you.
Wispies.
So she took her Burnley Trowbridge neckerchief and made it so folded it in half so you have the triangle, and she put it over her head. She made sure it went way far down on the nape of her neck, and right now she's getting all her hair kind of tucked in.
Trying to anyway.
And
failing miserably.
this is really important, your front piece. So that triangle piece she now has in her mouth. And she's making sure when she pulled and she's tying her scarf that it's nice and tight so it's not going to come off. And then you can see this is shaping up to be very cool, very 1940s-esque already. So now she's going to take that triangle piece. Patrick says she came back to her date.
I guess watching us do videos is not nearly
It's
as
not
exciting
very
as
fun, no.
Tinkerbell.
Even the cat hasn't been around. Okay, so now she took that triangle and she flipped it back, and she's going to tie again on top of it. Sometimes when I get to that point I have to pull this again, pull a little triangle to make sure it's nice and taut. Yeah, yep, perfect. We can call her Rosie the Riveter now. Yeah, that's a really good example. Yeah, you're gonna look like Rosie.
I wanted to. I tuck this in like this. Is that kosher?
You just do whatever you want. I think it's cool when you figure out new ways to wear your scarf. Your
Just to
headscarf. Yeah.
get it out of there and then.
Yeah. See, you don't need me.
Well, now that I know what I'm doing, I don't. I guess.
This looks really awesome. A+ for you.
Yay! I never was good at knots. It's like sitting the wrong way here.
Yay! Okay. You can always like.
Kind of have a unicorn horn there a little bit.
Is that it? That's why you like the bow. You know what you could do with this though? With this little piece hanging out, you can actually.
I don't know. I don't know that it's that I like the bow. It's that I don't know what else to do with those ends.
I know you're better at the bow than I am. There, look at your pretty bow. Okay, so let's say you don't want a bow. Let's say you can take this piece here. Turn to the side. See this right here? You can tuck this in here, just like this. Tuck that down. Do you want to tuck in your other side? See this? Here, turn on the side. This piece right here. You just take this and you just tuck that in there. Look at that!
Voila!
It's super cute.
Lucille Ball. I've never thought I looked like anybody, ever.
Well, you found your first doppelganger though, so
I did.
now you have to start a doppelganger folder. Okay, so there you have it, and you did a really good job. I think you're good to go now. You can go do hay and whatever else.
Not have my wispies get in my face.
Yeah, you go milk cows.
I can.
Do a lot of milking cows here in Wisconsin.
Yes, we do.
I used to live on a farm. I don't live on a farm anymore.
I still live on a farm. That is the secret to why I never leave the state.
That is true. That is true. If you live on a farm, you don't leave the state. I had sheep. What do you have in your farm? Well, you on your family's farm though. You have cows, right?
Well, it depends on which family. If we're going for the in-laws, we have a lot of cows and a lot of cows and cows. And if we're going for my family's farm, we have just about everything. Actually, no sheep yet, but they're on my mom's Christmas list, so.
Yeah, the sheep that I had though, they weren't the woolly sheep. Like, most people see. They were a Hawaiian Barbado mix, so you'd have to actually look that up to see what
Hawaiian
it is.
sheep. No,
A Hawaiian Barbado mix. So the males were, my male, he was massive. His name was Bubba. And he has these big, huge horns that, like, curled around. And I would feed him a piece of candy every day. He was really nice. Not that I would turn my back on him, but he was pretty awesome. The sheep themselves have more like dog hair, but they're meat sheep. Granted, I never could do that. I got my sheep, and they were supposed to be meat sheep, and I said, no, they're not my pets. So it never happened. I don't do well on farms because everything becomes my pet. And then chickens. Chickens are amazing. So let's see. Elena says it'll definitely keep the hay chaff out of your hair.
Yeah, that's not really the issue though. The issue is mostly like when you're dealing with cows is the stench.
Yeah. Well, and just like
because I don't like to wash my hair all the time because there's so much of it. It takes so long to dry and it's just complicated. But if I keep it under a scarf, I don't have to do that. I can just wash the scarf.
Right. Well, hay chaff too. Like when I would throw hay, it was just everywhere.
Well, that brushes out. It's like
Sneezing
powder.
and like. So, we want to thank you guys for joining us. You know, we never know what's going to happen as far as like live videos here. So
Pretty much every time I show up, something happens.
we're gonna do a live video. I was gonna show her that. So if you guys aren't familiar with Hannah, we've done a couple videos with her. She has an Etsy shop called Meadow Blossom Goods on Etsy, and she's the lady who's doing all the historical starches. So if that's your thing, which I think is super cool, and you're looking for demonstrations for your living history and your reenactment groups, you can talk to Hannah. She can help you out with the whole washing and starching, and she has a lot of various types of starches. And what are the polishes they're called?
Yeah, that's the latest endeavor. They added a lot of like fats or waxes or stuff to like your basic starches when you were cooking them, and it kind of provided a little bit of polish to it, made it a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, a little bit of a gloss, but it made it almost water repellent, which is sort of like stain resistant kind of.
Which is important.
Which is important, yeah. So I have 6 of them, actually. 2 of them are fats, and then there's a white wax, a straight paraffin, and then I found a really cool recipe that they call a Chinese polish, which I don't think has anything to do with China at all. But it's a paraffin-based polish that was in a 1893 book that I had that is actually scented, so I have 2 of those.
Elena says she loves your starch and her petticoats have never looked so nice. It's much easier than contemporary, which is totally awesome.
Yay! I know I just did a couple petticoats. I'm like, oh, they're so luxurious. I just want to pet them.
I was gonna give you my cap that Amber made me, so you could wash and starch my cap.
Okay.
Yeah. Hannah's starches are from different time periods too, so she's not just like focusing on one period.
Well, and starches are really hard to date. Because
right.
a lot of the recipe books I'm looking at are later, but that's also because, all the earlier cookbooks I look at are the same starches anyway. They just kind of had different names for things and...
Yeah, and they do the same thing with cosmetics too, like rouges. Yeah. All of a sudden, the rouges stay the same, and then all of a sudden, like in the 1920s, they're like, oh man, this petroleum is just so awesome, let's just put it in everything. So then they update the recipes, and then they add things like petroleum, which is... Anyway. Is this... so Kelly... says, is this an 18th century a la Turk, I can never pronounce that, Turk style of, or early 19th century? That's a good question. This right here is more like 1940s. This right here could definitely be used for the late 18th century, for that style, and even early 19th century. There's different ways to wrap. You just have to experiment to see what works for you. And branch out. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So as long as you just keep wrapping and figuring out where it goes, if you want to twist it, if you want to add more fabric, stick some feathers in there maybe, or depending on, what inspiration you've gotten from paintings and stuff like that. What is your Etsy shop again?
Mine is www.meadowblossomgoods.etsy.com.
Yes. And if you want to look for the other interviews that we've done with Hannah, you're right. Every time we get together, we do things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Check in our section for videos, and they would be there. There'd be one about her shop. And then we did some starching demos just to see, while you were working on one, to see if it would, what the difference was, things like that.
Yeah, the last time I was here, we played around down in the lab with some of the gum Arabic starches that I have, which are pretty cool too.
And Kelly, even if you did trim, like you could have different various, like if you did your scarves and you had various type of ribbons that you were wrapping in, or different types of trim, like if it was like pleated trim, or there's just so many options. So use your imaginations, and you can get a lot of inspiration from 18th century and 19th century portraits and things like that. So okay, should we call it good?
Yeah, that's probably
good. Maybe we should have like coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
You don't drink coffee, you drink tea.
Tea talk!
But we could just drink tea and just chat with you guys.
Yeah, like tea time chats.
Elena says hey sweetie, that she used the starch on silk and it was great.
Awesome. I am so glad to hear.
Yeah. So, okay guys, we're gonna say goodnight and thanks for joining us. We will check the questions, so if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. I will have Hannah put her shop in the link, or in the shop will be there, so check that out. So we will see you guys later, and have a wonderful night, and
night.
Goodbye everybody. I don't know how to stop this, no. Just kidding!